What in the name of polar vortex bombogenesis is going on around here, T-Rex? The world needs to know what's happening. Oh, that explains it. Dogs are spinning in a cyclonic manner. Yeah, we've got a cyclone, all right. The barometer in Burlington, Vermont is down to 28.67 inches, and the sun came out, and we have rainbows in the eye of what's a equivalent to a power of a category 1 or 2 hurricane. Of course, it's not a hurricane. It just has that kind of power. Crossing the northeast right now, and so many reports of blue sky. Have a little blue sky right here, right now. At 57 degrees, pretty close to the record high temperature for today here in eastern Massachusetts. While this morning in Olive Branch, Mississippi, send us an olive branch. Down close to 1 degree above 0 Fahrenheit. Coldest it's ever been there in northern Mississippi. And of course I say ever tongue in cheek because we've only been keeping good records for 100 years or so. I want to know when's the last time it gusted 150 on Mount Washington. I have to look that up. And in northern Vermont, let me just give Sean Vecchione the microphone for a minute. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to look back at the books and do a forensic analysis. Let's look at the gauges. Let's see, an inch and then some more. Probably about 1.5 inches of rain. And so this thermometer says about 57. That matches. This new bucket, remember I broke that bucket the other day, has a couple of inches of water in it. And I do have a new sensor up on the gable up there. There is an anemometer there, but it says the wind is out of the east-northeast. See, the thing is, though, we're on a hill here, and we're on the north side of the hill, so when the winds are strong from the southeast, we really don't get that impact. But when the wind comes around from the west later in the day, we will get the impact. Blue Hill gusted close to 75 miles per hour. That's right over there. And you can see how fast the clouds are moving. I have the ability to do time-lapse, so I'll share a time-lapse here also. It is called high amplitude flow. And you have record warmth. Key West also close to record warmth this morning coming up the east coast, and you have that record cold. I think that the expanse and the magnitude of the Arctic air is fairly historic for how widespread sub-zero air is across the United States right now. And so the contrast between the cold and the warm and so much energy available is the reason for this close to hurricane force low pressure system over land. You don't see this from the Ocean Prediction Center usually with an analysis of hurricane force low pressure over land. It's bombogenesis happening, and because the storm is tracking up the St. Lawrence River Valley, well, right over Burlington, Vermont, that puts us on the south side and the warm side. I mean, I could go on and on with the analysis, but I don't really have time nor the brain cells available right now. I got some issues going on outside of weather, that's for sure. A lot of things going on, family, and you get the holidays, and you get your infrastructure problems. Trees are coming down, oceanside communities are flooding, and I've got some of my issues of my own, so I don't have a lot of time. I stare at the weather maps all morning, and the Pacific Ocean really has got my attention going forward after this outbreak of chill that's coming our way. The river of air coming across from Asia into North America is extraordinary, and one storm after another coming into the western part of North America. But if you look at the track, those lows are going into the northwest and into western Canada. That's going to cause warmer air to cross the entire nation going into the new year. And so, oh, wind, where'd that come from? Let's get over here, hide from the wind. I mean, the wind is coming down in bursts. Some places are getting gusts past 70, other places only about 15 miles an hour. As you can tell, it's not too windy here, is it, Rex? It's just a fine morning. The grass is getting green. We'll have to mow it by the new year. Anyhow, 10 to 20 inches of rain or mountain snow, whatever that comes out to, 100 inches of snow, forecast for the mountains from Northern California through Oregon and Washington into British Columbia. For the rest of this year. This is a 10-day forecast. And what's going to happen here in the Northeast, we're going to have a rapid refreeze tonight It is still forecast to snow much of the weekend on Cape Cod. Ocean effect snow coming in from the southwest. There's Boston. The sun comes out. It's just very cold. Hopefully we're not all losing electricity. Oh, look, the sun. Am I going to get a rainbow? The sun is out here now. Where is the sun? There it is. Sun's out. Sun's out. Okay. The storm is not over, but the worst of the wind is over here in eastern Massachusetts. Cold air is going to come in from the southwest. Look at those. Is that loons? No, couldn't have been, right? You can see the air pressing down on the water out there. So that wind up in the sky punches down, and that's why we have scattered power outages throughout the Northeast. An extraordinary event. It's going to take some time to continue the analysis. Anyhow, where was I? Oh yeah, after the refreeze this evening, the sun should come out in Boston, and the wind is not going to be anywhere near as ferocious on the backside. But the fact that it's so windy at our mountains and our ski areas right now, and with such heavy precipitation, there's probably going to be some damage that has to be repaired to get us back out on the ski slopes. But the weather looks pretty nice for the next several days. Maybe a little bit more snow coming through here as another push of Arctic air tries to come into northern New England around Tuesday or Wednesday, and there's also a low offshore, so that could be some interesting surprise. But after that, it looks like that warm air, as a result of the Pacific jet stream, is going to flood most of, at least the eastern United States, if not all of the United States. All right, 6.5 minutes. What should I leave you with? Me climbing a ladder in the rain last night to get my anemometer out there? Why not? Where's T-Rex? He's stuck over there behind the buckets. All right, I'll unstuck you, and I'll show you how I put that anemometer up last night. Whatever else I can think of. Oh yeah, we were chasing turkeys at Chuck's house yesterday. Stay safe. Unreal. Time out, Tim. You got breaking news right down the street here. Wessagusset Road. Yeah, the water's coming over the road right now. It's not really bad flooding, but with a southeast wind here, you don't usually get this kind of flooding. But the barometer in northern Vermont went down to 28.65 inches, so it is a little bit like a Category 1 hurricane. Hurricane force wind warning in effect on the coast of Maine. High tide there now too. Come on, get yourself on the news. Yeah, you don't really want to drive through salt water. No, not coming into your cellar, I don't think, but pays to have an extra foot of elevation this morning. High tide at Wessagusset Beach in Weymouth. Very similar to a hurricane in New England today. Winter hurricane. This is a storm surge with a new moon today. Wind up in Washington past 115 miles an hour sustained. Burlington, Vermont, central pressure down to 28.65, I think, this morning. The sun came out after a wind gust of 70 miles an hour. Thunderstorms coming across New York today, too. All right, back to our regularly scheduled out the door weather and more.